What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode on the van. We're going to try to knock out some wiring today, and I don't know, we'll see where this video goes. Alright guys, so I'm just down here under the dash finalizing some of the wiring for the key. This little box right here is the interlock control. It keeps the key in ignition unless the car's in park. So obviously we're going to manual conversion, so we don't need the interlock control. So the way to get the key out, you can simply just unplug it. I'm going to go ahead and take the box out because you don't need it. It should just slide off of here. Yeah, there we go. So there we go, got it slid off. That's the interlock control, so we don't need that. Alright, and then it looks like they've just got the main relay just tied up here. So I'll probably just zip tie that up out of the way. And then this is our starter relay. And in order to make it start with the key, this gray wire has to be grounded, so you just cut that, and we're going to put a ring terminal on it, and then we'll ground it out to probably this bolt back here. Alright, so I got the wire grounded to this bolt here, the gray wire, and then I got the main relay zip tied up to the bracket where the interlock control device was originally. So now all this down here is done. So you can see the key come right out, where before, if you don't unplug the interlock box, you can't remove the key because it won't let it go all the way back to the off position. It'll leave it stuck right here. But you can see now it comes right out. You can see fuel pump's priming because I got the ECU hooked up. So battery's still a little weak, so we'll let it charge some more and see if we can get this baby to fire off. So the battery's dead. I guess I left the ignition on yesterday or something, but so as I mentioned in the first video, well, I just think I edited it out, but it currently has an OBD2 alternator, but it has OBD1 plug. This is OBD1 vehicle. So yesterday, Eric, the guy that owns the car, brought me over an OBD1 alternator, so I'm going to be installing this real quick. Alright, so I've got the alternator on here now, but you don't have the belts, so I'm going to have to get some belts, and I don't really want to put the belts on, or put the power steering pump back on before I get the belts on, because it's just easier to get to the adjuster and stuff for the alternator with the power steering pump off. So I'm probably going to leave the power steering pump off until I get the belts, and then also I'll put the correct tensioner and stuff on it because he didn't have a tensioner on the power steering, so I'll make sure to get that. So now I guess I'll move on maybe to the injector wiring. Alright, so on the injector wiring, I noticed that they've got the wires plugged up backwards. So this van originally had low impedance injectors, and for the power wire on a low impedance, it has a red with a black stripe on each injector. That's your power. And then your colored ones, such as the blue here from the number 3 cylinder, actually, you know, it's going to be brown, red, blue, yellow. Yeah, so yeah, you got them all wired up wrong. But so the blue, which would go to cylinder 3, you can see here that he's got the what would be the power wire going to the ground, because on this instance the colored ones go to the ECU, and that's your ground. So on a high impedance injector, the yellow with the black stripe is your positive. So you have to basically take the resistor box out and tie all the reds together into a single yellow with the black stripe over where the resistor box previously was, which is completed on this one already. But you can see here he's got the positive going to the negative and the negative going to the positive, so we've got to correct this. Alright, so now I've got all the wiring corrected, and you see like the red goes to red, blue goes to blue, yellow goes to yellow, and brown goes to brown. And then each of the yellow with the black stripe goes to the red with the black stripe. This is a positive on each injector, and the colored one is the one that goes to the ECU and is the negative signal on each injector. So now I'm just going to get some tape and clean these up a little bit and then reinstall them. Alright, so we can see that I took some Scotch 3M Super 33 tape, really good tape, and got them all taped up. They look nice, kind of OEM-ish, right? Now we can reinstall these. Alright, so for the reverse lights, I went into the plug that would be for the, I guess, the range switch on off the automatic transmission, and I pulled off the one that's solid white and the one that's red with the white tracer. So the red with the white tracer is a ground. The solid white goes to reverse circuit, so it would activate your reverse lights. And so I'm going to wire those two into the reverse switch off of the transmission, which is right here on top. And then that'll complete, when you put it in reverse, it completes the circuit and it activates the reverse lights. So that'll give us reverse lights, puts one step closer. But I can't wire these in yet because I'm waiting on some Deutsch connectors. I ordered some of those, and I'm just going to put a Deutsch connector on it, make it real nice. Alright, so what I've decided to do up here for my VTEC wiring is I'm going to repurpose part of the old harness from the automatic stuff, and I'm going to use this. This is the countershaft speed sensor wiring, which isn't used for the manual. So this blue with the yellow tracer is what the wire I'm going to use. So I'll strip it back, put my heat shrink on it, and then I've got a connector that fits on the VTEC here. I'll solder it on. And then we'll tape this up just where it looks a little better. Alright, and since this is also a JDM motor, it don't have the oil pressure sensor. So I'm going to show you how to bypass that, so that if you're using a US ECU, you won't get a code. But for this instance, we'll be using Honda, and we can turn off the pressure sensor anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and bypass it just so I can show you how to do it. Alright guys, so apparently my microphone became detached ever so slightly while I was filming this part, but I'm going to try to explain it best I can. So basically I took both of my VTEC wires and tied them together, or I soldered them together, and then we tied them into pin 8 from our traction control, which was the countershaft speed sensor wire. It was blue with yellow, so I just repurposed the connectors. But you can see the blue with the yellow stripe, and then I just taped it all up after I got it all soldered and everything, and then just kind of put a couple rounds of tape on the factory harness just to make it kind of uniform, and then our wire is long enough to where it can be put back into place and look semi-factory. running now. Now it's got to finish up all the loose ends. A couple things I got to do to finish up the swap. I still got to do the heater hoses, the Eiler control valve hose, the belts, secure the fuel pump down because it's just sitting in the tank right now. And then of course wire up the reverse switch like I had showed you earlier in this video. So still plenty to do. I hope you stick around, check out some more videos on the series. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next one. Peace.